Not much to go on there. This is a huge result for him. Pereira, 57th at the World Cup in Buenos Aires. He made the top 16 in Budapest Grand Prix, taking 15th. Nice result. Hey, he took third at the World Cup in Heidenheim, 47th at the World Cup in Vancouver. So I would say he's the clear favorite here, just based on that third place at the Heidenheim. Huge tournament. Beran has won World Cup gold way back in 2007 in Buenos Aires. He has a silver in Argentina, 2013, and he has 4 bronzes in Sydney 2006, Bogota 06, Lisbon 08, and Heidenheim in 14. So that's a long time ago, and you wonder why. Well, he's 41 years old. And Pereira, on the other hand, is 27, and he has 1 bronze at a World Cup in Heidenheim, 2023 we just talked about. So Beran has had quite an interesting career and has had some great success. And same as the last bout.
Passivité.
P yellow, says the referee. For 60 seconds of no touches, once known as passivity, then non-combativity, now unwillingness to fence. So how about that contrast? In the women's event, in the round of 8, we had a 15-year-old from Canada. And in the men's event, in the semis, we have a 41-year-old. My father Daniel was an Olympic fencer, and he always told me that fencing is a lifetime sport. And the fact that Beran is still in there at 41, still ticking and still going strong, that sort of proves it. And we all know that the veterans fencing them has become a huge deal. Fencers fencing well into their 50s and 60s and even 70s competitively. And yes, even your 80s to my friends in the United States, so my phone doesn't blow up. Could we be approaching a P red? No. Beran on the board, ties the score at 1. Remise to the lower part of the back. Double.
En garde. Prêt. Allez.
Pereira pulling distance, trying to open some ground and draw up Beran, who's not biting.
Halt, 1 minute.
So, at the end of one period, Go.
En garde, s'il vous plaît. Merci. Deuxième manche. En garde. Prêt, allez.
Very tactical bout so far, very patient. Neither fencer taking risks. Pereira seems to have come out with the idea of maybe pushing a little bit, more so than he did in the first period. Yes, it's a different mindset for Pereira this period. Maybe. Meanwhile, if neither scores in the next 15 seconds, we're on to P Reds. Well, Beran saw an opening. So far for the first 45 seconds, it was Pereira who was provoking with footwork, up and back and up and back, and setting something up or not. And Beran just saw one little opening and went for it and scored. Pereira came forward there with a big galloping step, looking for the blade in second, and Beran was able to get through and score on this preparation. Yeah, you have to fix that blade because you're only allowed one set. Here, let's watch this. He got him as he went for second. He got hit in the flank. Probably the reason for that is Pereira came forward with a big galloping step, and that gave Beran a chance to penetrate there with the touch. So, as it changes in épée, now Beran with a two-touch lead, he can take his time, he can sit back, he can wait for Pereira to take a risk, he can wait for a minute to go by and take the P red. It's in his advantage right now. And on the other hand, Pereira down by 2, he has to provoke and try to score a touch because he did from slightly out of distance. So the last couple of touches, Pereira, on that one he was out of distance, and look at that. Beran was able to pull distance just enough to make Pereira fall short and score on the counterattack. On that one, he fell short. On the other one, he was too close. So let's see this time if he can get the porridge just right with his distance. Wow. And you can tell by the dejected body language of Pereira that that one hurt. Not physically, but to get hit on the hand like that. And the referee gave a yellow card for refusal to obey the referee or delaying the bout. Doesn't matter. That's a regular yellow card. Any other infraction would be a red card or a point for Beran. Pereira was just trying to compose himself, but you're allowed a certain amount of time, and he went over the time limit. And the right call by the referee. So all of a sudden, it's an enormous, what appears to be an enormous 4-touch lead for Beran. And it looks like time will expire here in the second period. And Pereira is going to be left knowing that in the third period, third and final period, he has no option but to push.
Messieurs en garde, s'il vous plaît.
I would say Pereira has slightly faster footwork. He's going to have to utilize that footwork from the correct distance to try to push Beran or to try to draw him out. But he hasn't been able to do that for 2 periods. Beran has been really disciplined, and he seems to be picking the right moment in almost every action. Well, assuming the blade works, plugged in, the barrel's not loose, boom, it's a good touch. So, remember I said about the right distance? That was the perfect distance. Beran allowed Pereira to get right into a distance where he can make a straight attack and score as he did. He's got to probably open it up a touch. Double is good for Beran. You see the blade there, it's bent, and just watch. Wow, beautiful, right on the arm, and Beran was able to pull out a double there. Great double by him, and a great try by Pereira. He was a little bit unlucky there because Beran scored a great double.
Corps à corps. En garde. Pour moi, c'est corps à corps simple. Vous y allez tous les deux. En garde. En garde, monsieur.
So I think Beran allowed Pereira to get in a little bit too close there. Pereira almost scored there, and Beran was, I think, a little bit lucky that he didn't.
Distance, s'il vous plaît. Merci. En garde. Prêt, allez.
Beran sees an opening. There's a frustrated, disappointed Pereira. Watch. He was flat-footed and just went for a parry, and he was a dead duck. He's got to do what he's doing there, quick footwork. And that's a beauty. Watch the parry. Seconde. Not sure what they're looking at to see if he's maybe off the piste. It's a little dangerous for the fencers there because off the side of the piste, there's only a little bit of room. You can't really run by your opponent on a flesh attack. You have to run off the side. There's a drop off there, appears to be about 2 feet. It's a good touch. And that's an enormous 9-4 lead. And Pereira just looks frustrated because he's really not been able to make much of an impact here once Beran got a few touch lead.
Halte, double, point. En garde.
Double.
Prêt, allez.
Beran will take as many doubles as Pereira will give him. Beran just doesn't look like he feels like he's at risk at all. He just looks so comfortable. Pereira hasn't made him feel uncomfortable. Hasn't been able to penetrate.
Touché. Point.
Oh, he got hit on the hand, on the wrist. So Pereira's throwing the kitchen sink at Beran, but Beran is throwing it right back. And it's an 11-5 lead with a minute and a half to go. Anything can happen, but Pereira has to make something happen.
Halte. Touché. Point.
Better come on guard or you're going to get a red card. He did.
En garde. Prêt, allez. Halte. Touché. Point.
So, the 41-year-old Jiri Beran of the Czech Republic, after what was a very even start, I think it was 2-2 or 3-2 at the break, has completely taken over this bout and appears headed on his way to the gold medal bout.
Halte, touché, point. En garde, s'il vous plaît.
You have to congratulate Beran for just completely dominating this bout. You feel sorry for a little bit for Pereira because he just hasn't been able to figure it out.
Halte, touché, point.
There's your winner. A bow to the crowd, a kiss to the crowd, salute, a handshake, a hug. And almost there's a smile.